So my name is Daniel Tyrone. I go by Daniel Tyrone because I'm a legacy, and my dad's name is Daniel Tyrone Riddick, so I just go by Daniel Tyrone. So I'm also a co-creator of VEDA magazine, which was a concept that was done in less than a month. So I want to send a shout out to my co-creator. I call him Bo. I'm not gonna give you his real name because he Haitian. He got like 4 or 5 names, but his Bo. We linked up. The magazine's called VEDA magazine. You can see us on Instagram at, what is it, Bo? At VEDA_magazine.
Correct.
So at VEDA_magazine. So my host for today, I met her just like unexpectedly. So we got invited. We're both photographers, both more of a videographer. I don't do videography, but he's trying to teach me. But anyway, so we went to this event called the Circle of Excellence. I've never been to an event quite like it. There was like black excellence everywhere. I mean, I've got a MBA with honors, and when I went in, I felt dumb, right? So I'm in there, and I see Holly in there, and I'm like, Bo, make sure we get her contact information. And he's like, what? I was like, make sure we get her contact information so we can interview her. He's like, she's never gonna agree to that. I was like, whatever. So I go, both of us are working photography at this event, but I get hungry because photography is hard work. So I was drinking water, of course, and I was eating, and then I lost her. She left, right? Because she was tired and she left. And I was like, hey, Bo, what happened? He's like, what do you mean? I was like, where is the girl that was here? He's like, I don't know. He's like, nah, man, that's not gonna work. I'm like, you're gonna have to go find her. So he found her, I DM'd her, and now she's here. So tell me a little bit about yourself. I originally thought you were an Afro-Latina because I guess I would characterize myself as an Afro-Latin man. But just tell me a little bit about yourself and growing up, etc.
Okay, great. So, yes, all of that was lovely. Thank you, Daniel Tyrone. So my name is Holly Cotton, and I am originally from Louisiana, born and raised, but I've been in Houston for almost 20 years now, so Houston is kind of hometown for me. I have my career, whatever the letters behind my name, or I have a master's in nursing, so I do have nursing as my main job. However, I've kind of ventured out of nursing and I started doing a whole fitness wellness aspect because I teach it in nursing, and so I think that it's very important for me to also represent that. So I've always been pretty healthy and definitely worked out. Gym was very important to me. 2012, I got diagnosed with cancer, and after that, I kind of went on this whole different path in life. So I always say that, you know, you can start doing something, and at any point, you can switch up. This is your life. You define it however you want.
I agree.
So in 2018, I decided to write a book about being strong.
I got that book.
No, that's book number 2. So my first book is called Strong More Than Muscles.
Oh, okay. So I got the second book.
You got the second one.
Oh.
And so 2018, I just decided, you know what? I think I'm gonna write a book about being strong. And I just felt like I had finally healed from going through cancer, because anytime you have a disease that could be terminal, it kind of changes your mindset on a lot of stuff. So I wanted to have some type of avenue to reach other cancer patients, people going through things, and also, like I always say, that I survived cancer. That's my survival story, but everyone is a survivor of something. We're all life survivors. So after that, 2018, I wrote a book. I just told my story of it, and then it kind of took off. And then after that, I created a company called Strong Squad, and I just started like making t-shirts to see would anybody buy it, and like blew up. And,
for real?
Yeah. And so I have like all kinds of professional teams that have t-shirts, football, high school all, you know, whatever. So then I was like, oh, okay, so now I have a company, I'm an entrepreneur, now I'm an author. And so then COVID came and I was like, okay.
2020,
2020,
right? Okay.
yeah. And so I was kind of like, okay, so what am I gonna do in this part or whatever? So I started doing these like Zoom calls with people, and it was like life after. So I found people that were going through things, and then I wanted to tell their stories of, oh, okay, so you're a widower, so what's life after going through that? Or you're this, like, what's life after that? So I just started doing like Zoom calls and posting it.
It blew up.
And it blew up. And so then I had a producer with Ebony Publishing, and he reached out to me and he was like, hey, I see all your stuff on social media, and Ebony Publishing wants to go into the digital wave, and they want to start a podcast network. Would you be interested in having a podcast show? So I was like, yeah. So that was the end of my first episode was December 2021, and I kind of didn't know anything about it. So I was like, okay, what am I doing with this? Like, I don't know. I mean, I did a Zoom, but I didn't know how to actually make a podcast or whatever. So kind of, I guess, March of 2022 is when I really started figuring out how it worked and how to get guests and stuff. And then I realized, you know, I started going out into events in the community, and then it just pretty much has blown up. I mean, now I'm a media personality. Now I'm doing...
and I noticed that the thing that I noticed was when I saw you, she's like, well, she didn't have like a production team. She didn't have like a film dude. She didn't have a producer or anything. She's just kind of doing it.
Yeah, myself. I do everything myself. So
that's cool. I got both.
Yeah, you have both. Yeah, I don't have both. But yeah, I don't know. I did try, like I did try to have production team. I did have stuff, but for me, I feel like I have to be so part of the process. So some of the things I do have people assist me with. I do have people that help with whenever I'm doing a big event or something. But if it's just small, like Circle of Excellence was it was a big event, but my part of it was just to be red carpet hosting. So usually I just bring my own stuff. I have my own microphone.
Like I don't go anywhere without Bo. Like we like homies. Like you know, I talk to him like maybe Bo, like 8 to 10 times a day. I'm like, hey, look, I just wrote an article. I want you to publish it or whatever. And
usually I do have an assistant with me. So I do have my assistant, but on that particular event, she wasn't available. But like when I go out of town, like when we went to New York, she came with me, and so, you know, so I mean, I have a little small group of people, but that's pretty much what I'm doing now. So I still have my
That's good.
My
So what are your regular nursing hours? Like
I don't have
you don't have an 8 to 5, right?
Correct.
That's
None
cool.
of my jobs
I like that.
Yeah.
I like being independent.
I'm totally flexible. I have my own. So, but with that comes with, like I tell people, and that's why I wrote my book, Day One. And so I wanted to create a guide, because as I started navigating through all of these new chapters of Holly, I picked up all this information from people, and I was being informally mentored by people. I was picking up all these facts and these helpful things that I was implementing, and I was like, you know what? So one of the guys that I networked with, he was like, well, write the freaking book, like finish the book, what you waiting on? So in 2020, that's what I did. I worked on my second book, and then January of 2021 is when I released Day One, a guide to
national bestseller.
Yes. A guide to identifying, organizing, and executing any goal. So people always see me as a fitness person or as a nursing person or wellness, and I'm like, no, you can do this for whatever you want to do.
I like that.
Yeah. So I made sure that it was very generic to where whatever the goal is that you wanted to, as long as it's the day that you decide to start, today is your day one.
And I took that to heart. I'm actually on page 39. I'm kind of writing notes as I'm going through. I'm actually on page 39, I believe, and I'm just intrigued by it. I'm actually intrigued by you.
Well, thank you.
And so what I've actually told my colleague is that we need. I'm pro-black, but I'm not anti anything else. And I shouldn't have to defend myself by being pro-black.
Right.
Right? For my blackness, right?
Right.
So I want to surround myself by positive black people. What's wrong with that?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you'll get a lot of pushback from different people, but I don't think that that's something that I should be fearful of or ashamed of. And so that's why I was telling him, hey, but we need to meet this girl. We need to talk to her, man. He's like, nah, man, you just trying to go after Latinas. I was like, nah, man, I'm not trying to go after Latinas. I just really think she's an interesting person.
And I'm not Latina.
Yeah, and she's not Latina. I thought she was, but she's not. Can you talk to me? To me, there is a divide in this country about race. I try not to talk about religion and politics too much. Those are really sensitive things that people really can't give. But about race in our country, us moving forward, we're finding things like, I was talking to my mother about the things like in Florida, where they're censoring African American textbooks. Can you talk to me about what your position is on that? I'm talking because I'm a black male, but I want a black female's perspective.
So my perspective or I guess my opinion, because I don't think that it's a perspective since I'm not directly affected by it, but my opinion on it is that I think that it's part of history, and I think that what they're trying to do is take away the negative and make everything seen in a positive. So I could tell you, like, I worked for a company one time and they kind of did that, like, hey, you guys, we're not micromanaging you, or we're, this new process is to help you, and all the